more people will join. Awesome. Well done, Angie. And then by having the recording going, then we can distribute that afterwards. So let me say a quick hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Karen Stahlberg, and I am the director of the HILS online degree program. I'm also an OBGYN who practices in the Michigan medicine system. And I am thrilled that you're here and interested in the degree. And I want to introduce my partner and colleague in crime here, Angie Sullivan. Angie.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Stahlberg. My name is Angie Sullivan. I am the program manager for the HILS online program, and really happy to see everyone on the call today.
Yeah. So without further ado, because I know that we're late in the afternoon on a week where everyone's trying to get things done, I'm going to get us started. I can't really see you all, so I apologize for that, but I'm just going to keep going. Making sure that we're all in the right place, Health Infrastructures and Learning Systems Online Information Program, degree program. So this degree program is actually the first of its kind in the United States, probably the world, but I'm not sure I can say that yet. And the program was really created to help individuals gain the leading edge skills to improve healthcare systems or health systems. And so the program was designed to have a joint emphasis on both information and social science, but bringing to it this lens of organizational change, meant to improve health of individuals and populations, all with the idea of developing more equitable and accessible systems. What's unique about this program is that we also include information and options around implementation science, so that you can bring all three of those things together to create and lead innovative system solutions to improve health and health equity. What's great about this program is that it's flexible. So first of all, it's online, which is a huge flexibility in and of itself. But the other component is that it's really designed to either be completed in 1 year, or it can be adjusted to complete over 2 to 3 years, particularly if people need to be part-time so they can still maintain part-time employment. You can remain in your current work position and location. We have a couple of required in-person institutes here in Ann Arbor, but those of us who live here in Ann Arbor will tell you it's actually not that bad of a place to visit. So our health infrastructures and learning systems students basically hail from all over the world, because we started as a PhD program with a residential master's program and have now expanded into this HILS online space. But it's really important to know that the HILS online space is only open to the United States residents and citizens, because of a variety of international laws and requirements engaged in international education. But when you are part of this program, you're part of the HILS program writ large. And so you are in close contact with PhD learners. All of the faculty teach both the PhD students and the master's students. So it's not, we're just one big happy family, in all honesty. The HILS students come from a variety of backgrounds. Because the degree program content is diverse, that also means the participants are diverse. So of course, we have the usual suspects, right? Health sciences folks and health professionals, individuals who have expertise in information, informatics, computing, people who are looking at system solutions, so engineers, organizational and policy sciences. And of course, because this is all nested in the idea of taking care of humans, the behavioral and social sciences as well. So this is our current cohort, fall 2022. I like to call them Team 2 because we are a new program, and this is our second group of matriculants. We have 4 graduates from the program already, which we're proud to say. And so the group this year is interested in a variety of things, thinking about therapeutic clinical trials and surgical innovation. We have someone who's looking at creating an integrated system around adolescent substance use treatment. someone who is looking at pre-hospital care and out-of-hospital care and how that actually interfaces once they do enter the healthcare system, and how that can be adjusted through an equity, quality, and accessibility lens. We have folks thinking about cardiovascular health and informatics, someone focused on cystic fibrosis, really thinking about the impact that data can have on a business writ large, as well as improving healthcare needs. We have folks who are looking at healthcare access in the humanitarian settings, as well as someone, actually a few people from industry who are looking at evidence-based algorithms, electronic health record interoperability. Basically, there's so many ways and directions to go in this degree program that we really want to make sure we capture sort of the breadth and depth of this cycle. So what happens in a learning health system? Well, we think about these learning cycles that occur around a health problem of interest that has brought together some sort of learning community or formation of a community that is focused on things like out-of-hospital cardiac arrest or adolescent opioid overuse and abuse, cystic fibrosis, that sort of thing. And then all of that is built into an infrastructure that collects and understands data. So we're looking at this sort of lower, sort of coming in at about 5 o'clock, performance to data, taking that data and understanding and transforming it into new knowledge, and then taking that new knowledge / evidence and saying, okay, how do we implement that? How do we make an organizational change? And how do we take that new knowledge and create systems that perform differently? So a prototypical infrastructure in a learning health system will have technologies and processes that help support practice change and make knowledge actionable and shareable. It will have ways to analyze data. It will have the tech to develop content and messaging to end users. So all of those things help with healthcare data for decision-making. Of course, there's a policy and ethics component of data use, the shared knowledge for improvement and implementation, and then how to use technology for good. And so all of those components are actually the courses that you take in this degree program. So we have courses across every sort of limb of this cycle. So just like our health systems, our health sciences library here at the University of Michigan is a beautiful new building with no books, our HILS online degree program is also a degree program with no building, right? Because we actually are in the ether, if you will, and online. But what you do is complete 27 credit hours and complete a learning cycle project. And you end up with a Master of Science degree from the University of Michigan Medical School. So the goal of our degree program is to create graduates that have specialized training that can make lasting improvements. So these are asynchronous classes, meaning that you don't show up at 2 to 4 every Tuesday and Thursday. Everything is already built into a learning management system that you go through on your own pace and time. Obviously, there are some synchronous options that have to occur, right? Class projects or working with your other classmates, or when to turn things in, because that's not sort of asynchronous and whenever people want to do that. But the other advantage is that all of these lectures are in a learning management system. You can review and go back and relearn or re-reference things that you've learned in other courses to help you move forward with subsequent work. The thing that I really, really like to point out is that each course is probably going to take you 8 to 10 hours per week per course. So if you were to go full time, and we'll talk about this in a second, but if you're to go full time, then you're going to be taking basically 4 courses in a semester. That's a full-time job. That's like 40 hours a week. And so if the plan is to continue working, you may really want to consider taking half that load or going part-time. Remember that each course is different and has different ways of delivering the content. And so some things may be really heavy on reading, or maybe really heavy on video, or there may be a lot of papers and sort of thinking and producing new knowledge. And so it's different to be a grad student, and that you want to take that into account as well. So sometimes people are like, ooh, is this content really for me? Well, in addition to the syllabi contents that we have on our website, there's also sort of this open access course that you can take that's offered by one of our faculty members, Vinod Vidaswaran, who looks at information extraction from free text data in healthcare records. So basically, it's a natural learning it's a natural language processing tool to understand what's happening in a healthcare data set. This is on Coursera. And so for those of us who are U of M affiliated, alumni, workers, that kind of thing, it's generally offered for free, and you can audit. Those outside U of M can also audit for free, but you can also get a certificate if you'd like. And so you can look at machine learning, natural language processing, thinking about the sort of tools and techniques that are needed to help understand the data and learn from the data and then begin change. So the way that the courses are structured is this is basically what the landing page looks like in all of our Canvas degrees. So, Canvas courses. You have assignments that can be videos, recorded lectures, readings, class discussions, quizzes, papers, essays, group assignments. The grading is going to vary by the course because each instructor has been allowed to create sort of a course that they feel is most accurate in teaching the information. We also will talk to you about an applied learning cycle project, so that when you finish here, you have actually taken the information that you learned in class and applied it to a situation that has relevance to you or relevance to your job and can actually help make a difference. So in the fall term, as you're sort of getting your feet wet in the degree program, we have you meet with your advisor, think about what is a health problem of interest, what might a project look like. In the winter term, if you're going, just full-time, we really try to refine your project and your proposal and get you ready for the spring, summer term so that you can do your project. And then you also take LHS 622, which is a learning cycle capstone course that's focused on implementation science. So this is an example of a learning cycle project. It is from Rama Munyesi, who's actually one of our HILS PhD graduates now. Rama began his work really in the operating rooms. And so he was staff in the operating room and was really interested in processes and improvement and safety and quality. And so his summer project was really looking at the retained surgical instruments issue, and sort of number one, they should be never events, but thinking about like, why were they happening? Why weren't they happening? Why was there such a huge amount of underreporting? Trying to understand what were the barriers that people had for reporting and discussing retained surgical instruments or concerns about retained surgical instruments. And so through a process of a qualitative analysis, he noted that there were a number of places and spaces where you could make change in the environment that could help with reporting that would hopefully then lead to a decrease in retained surgical instruments. So it's that kind of small project that can make an immediate impact and or can create, in all honesty, more questions and more opportunity for learning that helps complete this cycle. So one of our graduates, Catherine Irwin, said that really this was a practical framework for creating the data to knowledge and knowledge to practice and performance cycle. And some of her colleagues were really interested in specific topics, but she actually thought that just the framework itself had a lot of value. And that's what she has taken from this degree program. So if you were to do things in a year, this is what it looks like. Here at the University of Michigan, we basically are semesters. And so there's fall semester that begins, ironically, the end of August and goes to about mid-December. The winter term begins in January, goes a little bit to mid to late April. And then there's a full semester that goes spring, summer that starts May-ish and goes to early August. So that would be almost a full year, round the clock, if you will, for a one-year degree program. If you wanted to create a two-year plan, then that would just space things out to almost like 18 to 24 months. Again, totally doable. We have you come in for on-campus time as well, and we space that out depending on where you are in your cycle. So the courses are, like I said, all organized around that learning health systems loop. So we think about health infrastructures and policy. We have two courses there, including an ethics course about whose data is it, who owns it, how do you know if your data is being used, how do we consent people to use data, what do we do about people who aren't in the data sets? So lots of complicated things to think about. We also do a lot with implementation science. So 621, actually in that picture, Gretchen Pyatt, who is the grad chair for HILS and also the associate chair for the department, is speaking there. And to her right is actually Rama. And almost everyone in that picture actually has graduated either with a PhD or with their master's degree. And then we talk about data science, right? Because we wouldn't be a learning health system without our data. This is a picture of Chuck Friedman, who's the chair of the department, talking about his initial course 660, which talks about evaluation and research methods for health informatics and learning systems, really about thinking about informatics and how to engage the data. We also have data science courses to think about analyzing the data, representing the knowledge that comes out of the data, as well as learning about the different types of programs and software that can be used to understand the data. We always love our testimonials from our learners. Grace Hahn actually had a PharmD that she had completed, and then she did her HILS online degree in a year. And she's really interested in pharmacogenomics and how you can use data from genetic materials, either about the patient themselves or perhaps tumors, and how do you incorporate that information into the electronic health record so that then it can be acted on so that patients get the medication they need. Again, really forward-thinking kind of stuff, but that's what I find so exciting about this degree program. So I want to talk a minute about the on-campus institutes. They are required. That's why this is a hybrid online degree course. The goal of the institutes is to reinforce your current coursework, to really take the things that you're learning and apply them, and think together with your colleagues around, boy, how would we solve this problem? How would we make change in this situation? We generally have you come in for 2 to 3 days on campus for active learning sessions, skill development. You have the opportunity to meet with other folks in the HILS program and of course with your advisor. And then we really like to socialize. So there's usually always dinner as well. So again, the goal of this program is to really create individuals who are going to be improvers in health, to take on leadership positions that are going to be focused on quality and safety and the management of health system initiatives. And you're going to be able to do that because you're going to be an expert in informatics, healthcare data analysis, implementation science, and change management. So we really think that folks will graduate from this program and turn into improvement and implementation leaders. Because learning health systems is such a new space, there aren't like clearly defined degrees, or career paths, like if you got a master's in public health or a master's in social work, right? But really what we see is that folks who graduate are going to be system innovators, quality improvement experts, learning from data, helping others learn from data, and really improving access and quality for everyone. So we do have a number of graduates. We have folks who have become leaders in data architecture. We have 2 of our graduates who actually opened up their own management consulting firm. So they're an entrepreneurial group. We have a clinical research coordinator. We have folks who have gone on to be clinical lecturers, to do data management. And I will give you fair warning, we actually have a number of people who stayed on to get a PhD. So that's just, fair warning there. I think, Angie, this is where I get to turn it over to you. Is that right?
That is correct. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Stolberg.
Have I had my video off the whole time?
I'm sorry?
Was my video off the whole time?
I think it clicked off. It showed that it's on, but it's showing. So
I'm sorry, friends. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on.
okay.
I'll go in the background.
Okay. I'm going to cover some of the student services side of things to begin with advising. So students are paired with a faculty advisor who will have live office hours, and typically this is via Zoom, or you can contact them via email. And I did want to note that you're going to be taught and mentored by the same faculty who teach in the residential program. So for example, pictured here is Dr. Rachel Richardson at our HILS online orientation session last year. And she's a professor in her department, and she conducts research on the quality and usability of data from electronic health records. And here she's advising a HILS online learner who has an interest in learning health systems to improve patient outcomes. And you'll also have easy access to me as a program manager through email, individual, group, Zoom meetings, Slack, the HILS online community page, and Canvas. So there's a variety of ways to get in contact with me and Dr. Stolberg. And the one thing I did want to point out is that even though this is an online program, that you'll be supported by real people such as myself, Dr. Stolberg, and other faculty, as we truly want to give you the full learning experience as a Michigan student and ensure that you become part of the community. So being a student in our online program, you'll have access to an abundant variety of student support services, such as the Rackham Graduate School, which has student communities such as students with children, students with disabilities, LGBTQ+ students, health and well-being resources. And then in the medical school, there's the Office of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. And that overlaps somewhat with what Rackham offers for resources such as health and wellness, diversity, equity, and inclusion resources. And then you'll also have access to other university resources such as counseling and psychological services, Taubman Health Sciences Library, in addition to all the other libraries on campus. And then students of color of Rackham those are just a few of the resources listed here. So we do have an abundant variety of student support service for our online students. And the tuition information here is based on the 2022-2023 academic year. So please note that tuition and fees often change each year. So again, these are based on this year. So typically a student is going to take between 6 to 12 credits. So 6 credits being part-time and 9 credits or more is considered full-time. So for example, if you are a part-time student, Michigan resident, tuition is $8,567. And if you're a non-resident taking 6 credits, which is part-time, it's $17,333. So for full-time 9 credits or more, tuition is $12,758 for a Michigan resident, and then it's $25,907 for a non-resident. And then there's also mandatory fees assessed each term, as you'll see here, like a registration fee, student government fee, et cetera, for a total of about $166. And then we wanted to break it down for you even further. I think that went the wrong way. One more. We need the tuition slide.
Oh dear, we've lost the slides.
That's weird.
Oh. No, I think you're okay.
Huh?
Can you see this one?
I see that one, but then we break it down where we have it,
Yeah, that's this, I've got that one up.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what I was looking at. Sorry. So we, so anyway, so semester, so that first semester is 12,758. That winter term is 12,758, and then that spring summer term is 4,376, giving you an estimated total of 29,892. And then as a non-Michigan resident, that first semester fall term is 25,907. Winter term is 25,907, and then that spring summer term is 8,759, giving you an estimated total of $60,573. And again, this is based on the 2022-2023 data, and that is subject to change. And then some additional expenses that you would need to consider: study materials such as books, notebooks, things along those lines. Note that many of our textbooks are available for free online or via the Michigan Library. You'll need a high-speed internet service, which is highly recommended. Computer equipment and software. What's recommended university-wide is a webcam, RAM of 4 gigabytes, microphone, headphones, compatible browser. And then additional expenses will be for travel expenses, like Dr. Stahlberg mentioned. Students will be required to attend the in-person institute sessions 3 times throughout their time in the program. And then application requirements, we require a bachelor's degree with 1 statistics class, personal and academic statement of purpose, and I'll go into more detail of those in a few minutes. A resume, a CV, your transcripts, and then 3 letters of recommendation. And so for these letters, you'll want to choose people who know you well and those that can provide an evaluation of your ability to perform and succeed at the graduate level. And often that might include a manager, a supervisor from school or work. If possible, include at least 1 letter from past or current professor advisor, or someone who has supervised you in a job or an internship. And note that the GRE is no longer required for admission. And now I'll review some tips for your statement, starting with the academic statement. So this is where you'll want to discuss your primary research area of interest, and you'll want to reach out to potential advisors, 2 to 3 HILS faculty, to introduce yourself and discuss the potential fit to our program. And faculty are aware that interested applicants reach out to them, so don't feel strange sending them a cold email introducing yourself. And you'll want to do this before completing your academic statement of purpose. You can read about each of our faculty on our website, and you'll want to choose those that perhaps are doing research or teach in an area of interest to you. And then in the academic statement, you'll want to explain why you identified the potential advisors you did and any interactions you had with them. And in addition, you want to describe your understanding of learning health systems and what interests you about them. And if applicable, describe any prior research experiences, courses, or projects that may have prepared you for graduate study. And all this is covered on the application, so you don't need to remember any of that right now. And then for your personal statement, this is different than your academic statement, and this is where you get the opportunity to explain how your background and life experiences, other opportunities or challenges motivated your decision to pursue a graduate degree at the University of Michigan. And I wanted to note that if you are a current Rackham student, you completed the personal statement when you applied to Rackham, so you will not be required to write another one. But then for those non-Rackham students, you'll want your personal statement to be more of a discussion of your journey that has led to your decision to seek a graduate degree. And you'll want to make sure that you do not repeat your academic statement of purpose here. And then we have some resources on learning health systems that can help you with your applications, and I'll send that in an email to you after this session. To begin with, we have a couple of journal articles. This first one, Development of the Learning Health System Research Core Competencies, which discusses how the core competencies for learning health systems were developed. And then next is a journal article written by the chair of the department, Dr. Chuck Friedman, who you saw earlier in the slide. And then Josh Rubin, he's a program officer in our department. And that article is Weaving Together a Healthcare Improvement Tapestry, Learning Health System Brings Together Health IT Data Stakeholders to Share Knowledge and Improve Health. So be sure to check that one out. And in addition, a website linked to the Learning Health Systems Open Access Journal. And this is an open access journal that is freely available to read and download. And then last is the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality Learning Health Systems website. And this is an agency that funds LHS researchers. And you can go there to learn about different types of research that is funded by the agency. So again, I'll be sending you all of these resources. Some application tips. Please be sure to proofread your statement carefully. Ask a friend or colleague or mentor to review it, paying just special attention to those typographical errors, grammar, punctuation, and overall clarity. And submit all materials in a timely manner to prevent delay in reviewing your application. And then since we are a Rackham graduate program, you'll apply through the Rackham Graduate School website. You'll complete their online application found on their website. And then our website also has a link to the application as well. And then on the site, you can upload all materials in addition to sending them directly to us if needed at any point. And then we have two deadlines. First is February 1st, and applicants who apply by this deadline are eligible for priority scholarships. And the scholarships are merit-based and candidates are reviewed holistically by the admissions committee. So you'll want to get those applications in early. And then June 1 is the final deadline to apply. And there are fees to apply, $10 if you're a Rackham student and $75 for non-Rackham applicants. And we do have fee waivers available. So reach out to me if you're interested in obtaining a fee waiver. And then the application timeline, we aim to notify applicants 6 to 8 weeks after the receipt of the application. So again, please get those applications in early. And then we do get questions about transfer credit. And at this time, we're not allowing credits to be transferred. However, if you have taken a course that is equivalent to a required course for the program, we may be able to review options for substitute electives or other course options. And this is our contact information along with our website. You can find a lot of the information on our website. In addition, feel free to reach out to Dr. Stahlberg or myself at any time with questions. So at this time, we'd like to thank you for your attention and open up for questions.
Yeah, thanks, Angie. Hopefully my my camera will stay on. So I know that was a lot of information, and we are definitely happy to answer questions. Everything's fair game. I know sometimes it can be a little awkward in a group like this, but really it's a pretty casual discussion. So please feel free to ask away.
Hi, this is Lisa Wojciechowski. I have a question. I'm interested actually in the PhD program. Is it similar to this orientation, and is there a separate orientation for that program?
Angie, I'm gonna let you field that.
Yeah, so do you mean similar to this information session?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be different because she's going to cover, it's Beth Hill, the program manager. So she'll cover a lot of the PhD requirements, which are different than the master's requirements.
Yeah. And the other thing is that their cadence is different. So their application cycle just closed. So they have to have things in for December of the year prior that you want to matriculate.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
So just reach out to Beth Hill and ask when there's, okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. See, I told you we're going to get PhD people. She sucked right in. It's great. One thing to realize is that all of the courses are offered by the faculty in the Department of Learning Health Sciences. So you're getting much of the same information that our first year PhD students are getting as well. So you get to leave academia quicker with a master's degree and don't have to do a dissertation.
Understood.
At least I did want to comment, if you weren't aware, that it's it's a residential program.
Oh, the PhD is residential, okay.
Yeah, it's not online.
Great clarification, Angie. Thank you. Other questions, clarifications? You can also put them in the chat if you don't, you're somewhere where you can't unmute or what have you. Angie will send out the slides and the information about the different articles that are available, as well as this recording that will be sadly unedited.
I think you were right, Karen, about, it's almost Christmas. People are just ready.
Yeah, winter break is upon us. So with that in mind, please feel free to reach out to us directly via email if you have questions. If there's anything we can do, I'm always happy to meet with interested students by Zoom to sort of, go through things a little in depth and see if this program matches for you. Oh, here we go. They're in the chat. I see, does U of M offer any undergraduate degrees or classes that will help with this program? That is a fantastic question. Online, yeah, even better. So the University of Michigan right now does not have undergraduate degrees online. That doesn't mean that they won't happen. It just means that in terms of preparation, there's not anything specific. There are online degree bachelor's programs that could focus on information sciences or social sciences or healthcare that might have applicability. But we'd really, Lee, I'd be happy to talk to you sort of offline, or Angie can send some more information. She unmuted, which makes me always think she's got something brilliant to say.
No, I just never remuted.
Ah, darn it. Okay. Yeah.
You had another online program at another school that you were interested in, do that first, and then you could do our online master's program.
Yeah.
Other schools have online undergraduate degrees.
Yeah. Then there's another question about someone with a sciences background in genetics. Are you good to go? And is it only an online program? So a couple of things. One, there is actually a residential version of the master's program. So, you're welcome, Lee, so that you could matriculate into the residential program here in Ann Arbor. Same content, same instructors, basically. In terms of a genetics background, one of the things about this degree program is that it will be important to have sort of an understanding of healthcare structures and sort of what happens in a healthcare environment. It doesn't mean that you have to be, a pharmacist or somebody who's a physical therapist or a doctor or anything like that. Although we do have those types of learners in the program. But I think for our learners, it will be important for people to have a sense of what happens in a healthcare system, how it works, that kind of thing. There's so much going on in genetics, as an obstetrician, I think about these things. And so I personally think there's a lot of opportunity there. Oh, no statistics class. Yes, you can definitely. So our interest is in having you get a statistics class or refresher, if you will, so that you're ready to go in the fall. Some of it is terminology, other components of it is just understanding the reading that's given, to you. There is a course in the winter term that's offered that helps analyze data. So we really want you to have preparation in that regard. So really all we need before somebody matriculates is proof that they've completed a recent statistics course. Angie does have a list of online refresher courses that we think are really helpful to take if you feel like it's been a little while since I've had statistics. Angie, did I miss anything there?
Yeah, no, yeah, Martha, I'll take down your information. I'll send you the list of suggestions that we have, and they're online. Many of them are free. You can take them, you can pay and get a certificate for them, but and you can definitely take them up through the fall. I mean, over the summer, as long as we have it by the time you matriculate in the fall, you would be fine.
Yeah, and it looks like Abigail's going to need information about statistics as well.
Yeah, I'll send that to you both.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm not going to say it right, and I apologize. I want to say Oluwasiwin. Did I say that right? Apologies if I didn't. Karen, as you know, Karen with a C is hard these days, and it's just hard to be a Karen in general. So I like to tell people I'm Karen with a C, the nice one. Random cultural references. Other questions? These are all great clarifications, definitely. All right, well, hearing none, I am going to give us all the gift of time late on this Thursday afternoon. Again, thank you so much for being here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your interest in the program. Angie and I are both here to help with whatever we can in terms of clarifying information, connecting you with faculty. Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad I was close. Anything you need, just reach out to us. We are not a diploma mill. That's not what we're here for. We're really here to find the right match and the right learners who are going to thrive in the program and just really sort of do all the things to make healthcare improvement happen. So whatever we can do to help you is what we want to do.
I will be sending everyone that information tomorrow.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Take care. Angie and I will be the last ones out of the room, just in case, somebody wants to ask a more personalized question. We'll make sure we turn the recording off at this point and go from there.